Hi, Steve. Thanks for coming on the show. We appreciate having you here. And here you have a few magical routines for us.
I brought a few things that you might enjoy, and I hope the rest of the audience will also.
I'm sure they will. And I'm going to help you with some of these.
Yes, but I'm going to start off first with a little rant.
Okay.
So you want to... I don't know
you
how
want
to
me to step off?
Yeah, I don't know how to get rid of you. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. There I go.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I start, my name is Steve Konzen. They call me the East Village Magic Man. And I have a little rant. You see, I'm really sick and tired of all these reality TV shows that they have on now. There's just too many reality TV shows. So I thought I'd take a couple of balloons and a long needle and show you my version of reality. See, if I take the needle and pop the balloon, that's reality. But if I also take the balloon, another balloon, and I just take it like this and just push it all the way through like this, now that's magic. And it goes all the way through like that. But then there's always reality. Thank you, thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's somebody, I think, Catherine, you have a balloon that you've been guarding over there on the side. Would you step up front and bring that balloon? Sure. Now, this balloon has you can see there's a piece of paper in there, right? That's right. I wrote a prediction long before we got up here, and you know that there's something written in there. Right. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the balloon, and I want you to catch the prediction, okay? Okay. So now watch your fingers, I'm going to pop it. Okay, can you take that? Sure. And could you please read what it says on there?
Okay. The name of your favorite card is Phil.
Yeah, the name of your favorite card is Phil. See, everybody has a favorite card. See, I have a favorite card, you have a favorite card. Everybody has a favorite card, and the name of your favorite card is Phil. Okay. See, here, I'll show you. See, I have here a deck of cards, and I'll just take it out of the box. And each card has a name on it. See, there's Greg, and there's Jake, and there's Dick, and there's Mona, and Lisa. I guess those two should go together. Okay. And then there's Mike, and then there's Sam, and Jane, and Des, and Vic, and Jean, and Ruth, and Rick, and Jim, and Rose, and Bud. See, there's another two should go together. Okay. See, every card has a name. Now, what is your favorite card?
The Queen of Hearts. The
Queen of Hearts. So the Queen of Hearts, that happens to be right there on top. Okay. So if I just go through and I just take the Queen of Hearts and turn it over, the name of your favorite card is Phil.
Wow, nice.
Thank you. Now I'm going to do one more now with you. Okay. I have another deck of cards here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you that they're all different. Okay. On this side, and they're all the same on this side, sort of like a chorus line.
Can we show that to the camera too?
Yes, I can show you that they're all different this way, and then they're all the same on this side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take them and I'm going to go through like this, and I want you to tell me when to stop, somewhere before I get to the end of the deck. Just tell me when to stop. Stop. Okay. Now I'd like you to take a look at that card. This card? No, this card right here that you cut to. Take a look at it, and don't show it to anybody, and stare at it, and you memorize it, okay? Now what I want you to do is I want you to put it in the middle there someplace. And now take the deck and I want you to shuffle it up real good. Okay. Just shuffle it up real good. I said shuffle, not mangle. But that's all right.
Sorry, I'm trying.
She's doing better, okay. What we're going to do is now, first of all, I haven't the faintest idea what your card is. And the second problem is I have no idea where your card is. Okay. It's somewhere in the middle of this deck. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the deck and I'm going to fan it out like this. And I'm going to take this sword, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it and I'm going to throw it up in the air and stab one card. And what was the card that you selected?
10 of clubs.
The 10 of clubs.
That's nice. That's awesome.
You can keep that as a souvenir.
Thank you very much. Take this little piece.
Let's have a nice round of applause for Catherine. Thank you for your help. Okay. Thank you. Don't forget, Captain, it's your job to pick all these up later on, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people always ask me how I got started in magic. I got started in magic because my father was a magician. My father would be walking down the street and like that, he'd turn into a bar. And I follow in his footsteps gladly. But actually, he really was a magician. And one of the things when I was younger, about yay high, my dad would take a deck of cards and do something like that. And I go, wow, Pop, that's great. how do you do it? He said, son, it's practice, practice, practice. So I said, Pop, why don't you just tell me the trick to it and I'll be able to do it too? He said, no, son, it's practice, practice, practice. So I think it was the Memorial Day weekend, maybe the Labor Day weekend, but it was a 3-day weekend, and I spent the entire 3 days in my bedroom with a deck of cards, practicing and practicing. Finally, Monday afternoon, I come out and I go, Pop, look, I could do it. He said, yeah, but son, there really is an easier way. See, I just want you to know we're here to have a little bit of fun with magic also. It's not all a bunch of knuckle busting. So thank you. But now this is a fun one that I like. This is a strange little deck of cards that I have, and you can see it's a little oblong. And it's a little strange because it actually has 7 different sides. And I'm going to show you all 7 sides. The first side is the side with the indexes like this, so you can tell one card from the other. That's just the first side. And if I take it and I fan it around this way, now there's the second side with the nice colors on there. That's the second side. That's 2. And if I take it one more time and then I fan it again this way, now there's the third side. That's 3 different sides. Now that's another side. And if I take it one more time and I fan it out this way, now there's different colors. Now there's 4. That's the 4th side. And if I take it one more time and I fan it out again this way, now there's 5. Now that's 5 different colors. Now remember when I started this, I said the first side was the side with the indexes, so you could tell one card from the other. Well, if I take it one more time and all I do is I just fan it out this way, now there's the blank side where everything disappears. Now that's the blank side. And the one that always gets me and I can never figure out is, where the hell does the dragon come from?
Oh, wow.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's see what else we do. Oh, let's move away from the cards a little bit. Now, I started out in magic back in 1978 in Washington Square Park, and this is actually one of the routines that I did back then, a long time ago in 1978. And I'm going to tell you right from the beginning, this is all an illusion, because this piece of rope here is exactly the same length as this piece of rope here is exactly the same length as this piece of rope here. See, all 3 of these pieces of rope are all exactly the same length. And I can tell you look a little skeptical even through the TV screen, but you know, I'm going to prove it to you. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to even up the ends here. So I've got 3 even ends up at the top, and if I take from the bottom, now I've got 4 even ends, and I take another one, now I've got 5 even ends, and then last but not least, now I've got 6 even ends. Now I've got 6 even ends at the top, and I've got 3 uneven loops at the bottom, and I'll say my favorite magic word that I learned in church, bingo, and then I separate them like this, and I've got 1, 2, 3 pieces of rope, which were all exactly the same length. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3 pieces of rope, which are all exactly the same length. Now remember when I started this, I told you that this is all an illusion, and what I do is I just even the ends up. So let's even the ends up one more time. Now there's 4, and now there's 5, and now there's 6. So now I've got 6 even loops at the top, there's 6 even ends at the top, and 3 even loops at the bottom. And my other favorite magic word was abracadabra. My other favorite magic word is abracadabra. I know it sounds like have a banana, but we'll use it. Abracadabra, and now we're back to a short piece of rope, a medium piece of rope, and a long piece of rope. Thank you. Now, do any of you guys ever wake up the morning after the night before, and you look down at your shoelaces, and you've got this strange little knot in your shoelaces? See, if you're a magician and you have a knot like that and you don't like where it is, you just take it and you move it down a little bit. But if you really don't like where it is, you just take it and make it disappear altogether. But sometimes when I do this, people say, but Steve, where did the knot go?
Steve, where did the knot go?
See, the knot's there the whole time. It's just that it's invisible and you can't see it. And all I have to do is just shake the rope, and now you can see where the knot is. Or not. Thank you. Now, you know, a couple of years ago, the Bronx Zoo lost one of their big snakes. You know, and I live in the East Village, and actually I found the snake, and I found out that she was pregnant when I found her. So what I did was I kept the baby snake, and I gave them back the real snake. And first thing I did living in the East Village was I painted the snake. So I could make it a little bit, you know, a little bit more colorful living in the East Village. And actually what I did was, so I could take it off on my taxes, what I did was I taught a trick. So I'm going to show you the little trick that the snake can do. If I just take it and tie it in a knot like this, and now just watch very carefully as the snake learned how to untie itself. And if I do it twice, I can take it off twice on my taxes. So we'll just tie it up one more time like this. And we'll just do one more time. And there we go, one more time. And it unties itself. Thank you very much. Now this is the easiest trick that I do and the most difficult to say, and you'll understand why in a second. Because I have these two sticks and this tassel. I think this is the tassel and this is the tassel. But it goes all the way through like this. See, and no, this is the tassel and this is the tassel. But it doesn't make any difference because what happens is if you pull the tassel becomes a tassel becomes a tassel. If you pull the tassel becomes a tassel becomes a tassel. The tassel becomes a tassel slowly becomes a tassel becomes a tassel becomes a tassel. See, and it goes all the way through like this. But sometimes people say, but Steve, why do you keep them both in your hand like that? They think there might be some kind of a connection. See, I wouldn't fool you that way. If I separate them like this and I pull the tassel becomes a tassel becomes a tassel. Tassel becomes a 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 tassel. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. You know, but sometimes a magician as great as I am, oh, did I tell you how great I am yet? Oh, but sometimes a magician, even as great as I am, winds up with two tassels, and you can't do the trick that way. You need a tassel and a tassel. So I don't know if you notice I have these long white hairs that I keep in the back here. I grow them just specifically for this one trick. And every time I do this trick, I just pull one of these hairs out, and I wrap one end around here and wrap one end around here, and then I pull it in the center like this, and that's how I do the tassel and the tassel. Thank you. You know, I work with musicians a lot down the Lower East Side, and musicians and magicians have a lot in common. And they go to see each other. Musicians go to see other musicians, and magicians do the same thing. So I went to see a magician recently, and he did this really great trick. What he did was he counted out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, and then he took out 1, 2, 3 cards, and then he counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. And I went, wow, that's a great trick. So of course the next day I went right over to my local magic shop and I said to the guy behind the counter, I said, listen, do you have the trick where the magician counts out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, and then he takes out 1, 2, 3 cards, and then he counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards? And the guy behind the counter says, oh, you mean the trick where the magician counts out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, and then he takes out 1, 2, 3 cards, and then he counts out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. I said, yeah, that's the trick. He said, no, sorry, we don't carry it. And I was so disappointed because I wanted to do it for you all tonight. I'm sorry I can't do it. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. But you're such a wonderful audience. I think, you know, magicians are supposed to keep their secrets, but I'm actually a past president of the International Brotherhood of Magicians, and I went before the board of directors, and I got special dispensation to teach you all one trick. So first of all, you're all sworn to secrecy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how the trick looks, and then I'm going to explain how it works, okay? So first let me show you how it looks. I have a card here that's got 4 spots on this side, it's got 1 spot on this side, it's got 6 spots on this side, and it's got 3 spots on this side. See, isn't that cool? That's the way it looks. See, it's got 4 spots on this side, 1 spot on this side, 6 spots on this side, and 3 spots on this side. See? Now that's how it looks to the audience. Now I'm going to explain it to you. See? Now remember, you're all sworn to secrecy. So when I show you that I have 4 spots on this side, I'm actually lying to you. But that's what magicians do. We lie. See, because actually there's 5 spots on there. See, but I'm holding it this way so that you can only see 4. And if I hold it this way and I show you this way, I say there's 6, but actually there's only 5 because I'm hiding the empty spot. So if I turn it over and I say that there's only 1 spot on this side, I'm also lying to you because actually there's 2 spots on that side, but I'm hiding 1. And if I hold it this way, I'm hiding the empty space, and there's actually only 2, and I say there's 3. So when you put it all together, it looks like this. There's 4 on this side, there's 1 on this side, there's 6 on this side, and there's 3 on this side. But sometimes when I do this, people say, but Steve, that's not real magic. And I go, but really, there's 6 on this side, and there's actually 3 on this side, and what I could never figure out is where the heck the 8 on this side come from. And now remember, you know how it's done, but remember, you also want the secrecy. Thank you. Now, this is one of my favorite tricks. I love this one. And I hope you do also. This is the Japan Times. I picked this up on my last trip to Japan. And if you believe that, you're going to love this trick. But you know, it's amazing because they told me if I stare at this writing for 5 years, I still wouldn't be able to read it, so I knew it right. But they got some nice pictures in there. Anyway, what happens is if you take the newspaper and you fold it up like this, and you just open it up here at the top. Happy whatever day today is. And I just take it and I pour the water down in there like this. Just pour it down into the newspaper. And that's just to show you that it's all gone. See, now this is the easy part. Yeah, this is pretty easy. But here's where it gets a little more difficult. Yeah, this is the difficult part. And it's around this time somebody in the back usually yells out, "But Steve, where did the water go?"
Steve, where did the water go?
The water is right here. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Now, for my last effect, what I'd like to show, you know, I joined the International Brotherhood of Magicians many, many years ago, and we have what we call the rite of passage. And the rite of passage involved this little red handkerchief. And what I had to do is I take the little red handkerchief, and I just want you to watch very carefully as I just push it down into my fist like this. Now watch very carefully as I just push it all the way down in there, and just push it all the way down in there. Say my other favorite magic word, Sim Salabim, and as you can see by the time on my watch, my time is over, and I hope you all enjoyed my magic. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was great. I enjoyed it so much, and it was really exciting for me to be like the assistant. You know,
I see you all dressed up, so I had to bring you up here to assist me. You know, but I get a little bit thirsty after I do the show, so if you don't mind, I have my little hippie handkerchief. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show the handkerchief like this, and then just drape it over my hand, and then what I do is I just produce a shot of vodka so that I can. Now we can continue the interview, and I feel much better.
Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you go by the East Village Magic Man.
Yes.
How long have you been going by that?
Approximately 2 years.
2 years.
It used to be the Konzen's Amazing Magic in a Straitjacket, and that's when I worked with my assistant, my wife. And then I retired from magic, and I just started doing. I reinvented myself.
Right.
You know, now it's called the East Village Magic Man, magic with a New York sense of humor.
And you originally learned magic from your dad too.
Yeah, actually, he did start me out doing magic.
So this is like a family thing.
Well, we also had a younger brother named Ricky who also did close-up magic.
Oh, wow.
And now I'm the only one left. Both of my brother and my father both passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so I'm the one that carries on the name. So it's still Steve Konzen, but the East Village Magic Man. And I even got a hat.
Very nice.
Got a hat.
Very nice.
But I wanted to mention that we're doing a show. I grew up in magic with about 4 or 5 other magicians that I met back in the early 80s. And we all joined the International Brotherhood of Magicians around the same time. So we all grew up in magic together. And we did one big stage show 17 years ago. That was the hit of the show. That was the hit of the International Brotherhood. And what we're doing is we're having a reunion. And we're going to do it. It's one show, and it's at the Musicians Union Hall on 48th Street between 8th and 9th Avenue. And it's Friday night, June 28th at 7 o'clock. And it's going to be a big full stage show, a 2-hour show with all of us, and it'll be great because we're now the senior members of the International Brotherhood of Magicians. When we started, we were just learning and starting out, and now we're the ones that people come with questions about magic. When we first started, we're the ones with all the questions. Well, now they come to us with the questions.
You're the teachers, the masters.
Yeah. Well, not the masters. There's always something more to learn.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun that we can just. If I have a library at home of magic books, and if I don't have the answer in my head, I can go home and look it up.
Nice.
The oldest book I have is from 1898.
And you said you won, before the show, you were telling me that you and your wife together won Magicians of the Year, 1994?
Well, yeah, in 1994, we were voted Magicians of the Year. And that was the first time I got to work with my father, because they asked me who I wanted on the show when they honored me. And I said, well, I'd like my dad to do it. And my dad put together a 12-minute act, and he opened up the show for us. So I got to work on stage with my dad.
That's amazing.
Yeah, oh, I loved it. It was great. And I have it on videotape, too.
And you used to have a cable access show, a magic cable access show of your own.
I was wondering if you're going to bring that up.
Of course.
It was called The Modern Masters of Magic. And it was back in 1986, 1987. And we did 8 one-hour TV specials. But we did it live. We didn't do it on tape. And my father was one of the guests that I had on that show, which was really cool because I got to interview my dad about magic on the air. And there's so many other magicians because my wife and I would open and close the show, but we had other magicians on, and it was just a lot of fun.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I love other cable access people. You know, I love cable
Well,
access TV.
this is what, 25 years ago we're talking
Yeah.
now. We're talking a long time ago.
Different studio, different channel, everything.
But close by. The studio was close by right here. And
Yeah.
and like I said, we did it live back then. We didn't, it was a lot different.
So I met you at John Vomit's open mic, the Vomit Cabaret, at the back fence
At
on
the
Sundays.
back fence.
But you do a regular Saturday show at the National Underground.
At the
is it?
National Underground. Tomorrow I'll be there. I'm working with either Ash Gray or Tom Fitzpatrick. It's music and magic.
Okay.
And we do it every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 7. And I usually do 2 shows. I do a 5 o'clock show and a 6 o'clock show. And normally we work with Kelly King. She's the one that put it all together. And as soon as she comes back, it'll be Kelly King's show again. But we're just holding it over until she comes back.
Yeah, hopefully soon.
Yeah.
I spoke to her recently, so hopefully she's going to be at the Vomit Cabaret this Sunday. So we'll get to see her
wonderful.
soon.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's been a few months. So how do people find you online? Or
You can find me on Facebook on the East Village Magic Man. That's just the magic. There's pictures there, and I announce when I'm performing and where I'll be performing.
I found you by your name, Stephen Konzen.
Steve Konzen, you're right, but
Okay.
that's the one. That's the one with shits and giggles and all the other stuff. You know,
Okay.
you get the jokes and that cat. What is that? All those cat jokes and all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the East
That's
Village
your
Magic
personal
Man.
page, and then you have
yeah.
the magic page. Okay.
The Angry Cat, the one they're going to make a movie out of.
Okay.
That's
I didn't know that
everybody
they were
passed
gonna
that.
make it.
Yeah, I know. I
I
heard
don't know
about
what
that. I
that's gonna
couldn't
be like.
believe it.
But thank you again for coming on.
You're welcome. It has been a pleasure. It's always a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'll see you Sunday. And do you have any last words before we go?
Happy magic.
Okay, thank you.